Well, good evening and welcome to this edition of the Island Stats Cricket Show. I'm your host, Earl Baston. Joining me is co-host Andre Doc Manders. Well, Doc, week two, I guess disappointing news with the fact that Somerset were unable to field a team today against Southampton Rangers. Kind of disturbing, isn't it?
Yes, I only found that out earlier today, but I know they're missing a lot of players, man. A lot of the players is in school.
Right.
But yeah, like you said, that's disappointing because of the, cup match gems. I don't know what's happening up there, what's going on, but that's very disappointing.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they get that sorted out rather quickly because clearly, they would want to be, the guys that are here would want to be playing. It's just a matter of getting some other players to make sure they have enough for a team just to be playing. Because, if your aspirations are to play in the Classic and you're playing for Somerset and you're not playing, this is the second week in a row. The first week they were supposed to play St. George's, that was called off. Now this week, you can't field a team. That's 2 weeks you're behind everyone.
So is this game going to be replayed, or it Rangers got the points?
I don't know what the outcome will be. I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out from the board sometime soon on what direction they'll go in as far as points or play it later on in the season. But you're already a game behind.
Yeah, it's interesting. Maybe they could have sent a letter in, saying that they got at least 5-6 players in school. Can they play it later? I don't know, but it would mess up the schedule because that means they'll be playing probably way after cup match or way before cup match. Well, before cup match will be better, right. But if you think about it, after cup match, a lot of players is winding down too. So it would be very interesting to see how that's going to pan out.
Yeah. Well, with I guess with the league the way it is, they were planning to look to go to 2020 after cup match anyway. So now if they decide to replay both games, it would will they be played if it determines who wins the league or who goes down or something of that nature. It'll be vital. The only plus is 2 weekends in a row. Well, the Somerset Wicket's been played on, and it's produced a lot of runs. Batting first. Last week, St. David scored 311 for 7. This week, St. George's scored 328 for 7. And last week, the opener, Ajon Lamb, scored 126. This week, Tamiko Wilson scored 133 for St. George's. So the Wickets, and again in reply, Willicott scored over 200 runs chasing. They came up short both times, but that's over 500, 600 runs, in 2 weeks on that wicket.
And not only that, the ground itself is fast too. So, and once you got a good wicket like that there, it's good to bat one. And this is like I said, it's still in preseason. Like you said, that's 500 something runs. That's good for cricket. Like I said, I don't know about the bowling department, but both games 300. One team scored 3 and the other team scored 2. So there's got to be a good strip up there.
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, the bowlers would have to really bend their back and work hard. To get something out of it, or hope the batsman plays 4 shots.
Well, what I see, Earl, in this limited over cricket, we have to use some variations, and same thing. I've been sending messages to Western Stars too. They need to build a lineup. You can't set a field for bad bowling. You can't set an offside field and the guys bowling on the leg side. You have to build to your field. 20, 50 of us, you got to build, and you got to use variations. slow ball, Yorkers, a slow bouncer. All that stuff you need to practice in training, all that stuff. Mark, I know these guys are watching the IPL and T20, the way how, these bowlers are building, because most of the time now batsmen are dominating,
Right.
because with all these shots they could play now. So the bowlers are going to start improvising, getting better too,
Right.
I,
But
I've been out here and I've been watching some of the 2020. I saw Dowray's team play yesterday, but that was online. And
mm,
I've seen a few of them, and these guys, even though the batsmen are dominating, the bowlers are still, you could see they're still trying to hit the lengths
yes,
with the
yeah,
Yorkers, the slow
right.
bouncers, and then you look at some of these scores, even though it's been some big scores, the bowling has been pretty tight,
Mm,
so, and that's 2020. So we
right.
need to, especially down here, bowling at the depth. We need to let our bowlers, and even early in the innings, you got to hit those lengths. If you're bowling too full, I see down here we build too many bare balls, three good balls, and then we build two or three bare balls, which is not good. If you
Mm,
if you have if you have got three dot balls, then you build two or three bare balls, and you get hit for a 6 or 4, that's still 10 runs and over.
that's right. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you have to put pressure on the early order batsmen.
Mm,
That's why I see a lot of runs scored already in the season. So it's gonna be difficult for a lot of the teams. Like in the next couple of weeks, um, when the batsmen really start getting in form. It's still
right.
early.
Yeah, yeah. We will talk a bit about that St. George's Willicott's game because clearly Tamika Wilson was off to a good start. He scored his 133 off of of 148 balls, 11 fours, 4 6s. And then St. George's had some batsmen that didn't get off, but then you had
Yeah.
Anias Bascom scoring 41. Kamal Bashir 10 overs, 3 for 67.
Yeah.
And then Willicott scored 228. Tracy James scored 64. Kamal Bashir scored 56. Onias Bascom 9.2 overs, mid 5 for 48. I
Yeah.
mean, okay, so it's there if obviously Onias was building. He built up the order and then at the depth, so he was able to clean them up. But just you gotta apply yourself. You gotta put your ball in these spots in order to clean the wickets, kind of thing.
One I see an Onias build, and he does list a lot of variations.
Mm,
I'm seeing him build slow balls, slow bunces and stuff. I got to give him to him. Um, he is one of the builders I see him bring with that there was a lot of variations. Even in cup match, I'm seeing him trying things um, when he can't get somebody else. He's always trying something. But
mm,
I looked at Rodney's figures earlier. Rodney had built 6 overs, like none for 20.
mm,
And Rodney is another one builds little variations, but
yeah,
with the spinners, see, when the ball comes on to you, sometimes it's easier for the batsman because
yeah,
once you hit their ball, it's going to go. But with the spinners, you have to really think. You got to move your feet. You got to be able to play off the back foot. So I looked at his stats. I don't know what he finished up with, but when I looked at it earlier, he only had gave up 20 runs in 6 overs. And you looked
right,
at everybody else, it was like 5 overs, 30, 40. So
right.
it goes to show you that I don't know if the wicket's taking spin of Somerset
Mm,
or Rodney built that well, to contain him.
right, right. Yeah, I mean, as you said, Rodney knows how to plan or set up out. He's done enough over his career to know how
Oh
to
yeah,
set up a player or even an inning. He would have finished with 10 overs, 2 for 36.
okay.
Yeah,
That's still good bowling up on Somerset.
yeah,
It's,
3.6
one or
overs.
two, one or
Yeah,
two small or boundaries. So that's 2 for
right.
36 is not bad.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
getting 2 wickets. So
right.
um,
Yeah.
But those are the type of builders where you need in a team. Like I said, with variation, with spinners, medium, low pace, pace off the ball and stuff like that.
Right.
And I see a lot of teams don't have that. If you're consistently just build a medium, you know, if you got a batsman that's in, they can score easy, score 100. You have to, you know, you got to have some spin. To even if it's like left arm spinner, right arm spinner, leg. Yeah. We didn't have too many leg break builders here. But we have Cameron Jeffers, who's doing good in the UK now too.
Yeah.
And then we ain't got too many left arm spinners. So, you know, we need to kind of work on getting some spinners. I know Warwick's got a few good spinners, young spinners coming up.
Right.
But I haven't seen any, you know, too much in the other teams, like the spinners. I know it's a lot overseas. It's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of good players overseas playing. So, you know, and it's hard to monitor those guys' games.
Yes.
I mean, we could only go by what we see in the papers, you know, online.
Right.
But from what I'm hearing, from what I'm seeing, a lot of the coaches, I spoke to one that's speaking very highly of a lot of the Bermudan players.
Which is a good thing. They just need a level head and keep working, you know, keep working hard, you know.
That's it. When Gary Player was here 2 months ago, I went to BHS to help on the food training, and he said the talent is her. But it's a mental thing, you know, with a lot of our players. So like they said, they know the talent's her, but it's up to the players individually to work hard at their games. You know, so and it's good for him to come down to, you know, to have a look at some of these players. You know, he brought a couple of coaches with him, and it was too bad because it was football season.
Right.
And he wanted to get a lot of these senior players or out to see what they look like. But, you know, it's unfortunate. But like I said, that's what we need to get at, to get the players out, you know, to these training programs that the board's having.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll talk a bit about the St. David's Bailey's Bay match. We don't have the scorecard yet. We're reading the scorecard, but I was there, and we can talk a little bit about it. We'll be right back.
Putting down the weapons.
You seen this?
We're featuring a range of remarkably effective household cleaning solutions made with ecologically sound ingredients and pleasing fragrances from Ecos, a company with over 50 years experience producing plant-powered cleaning products. The founder was a veteran chemist in the cleaning products industry and started up Ecos as a response to the harsh chemicals he had routinely encountered. Try Ecos non-abrasive cream cleanser, vinegar window cleaner, and in spray bottles, Orange Plus and Parsley Plus cleaners, shower and floor cleaners, furniture polish, and stain and odor remover. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
I'm also thankful and grateful because my greatest value of my life is my legacy.
But why I do it? I feel supposed to do it. I was put here to be here, to do what I'm doing right now. Once I see somebody moving, it's the greatest joy for me. There's a little person being born.
I am thankful that people have given me the trust, you know, for me to empower them, from my players to my family, to France, and that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that people have allowed me and trusted me to be in their life.
And welcome back. Well, Doc, down at Seabreeze, St. David's did beat Bailey's Bay by 7 wickets. Bailey's Bay were in a bit of trouble early, roughly 146 for I believe 8. You know, and they had a partnership. St. David's kind of went wayward a little bit. The bowling, I think Derek Brinkman had finished his spell. And with Justin Pitcher bowling, he, as you said earlier, he bowled a couple of good balls and then got erratic. Where, you know, he was hit for a few 6s, hit for a few 4s, and then the score started mounting. You know, so it's one of those things where the minute things didn't go their way, you started seeing shoulders drop, you know, heads drop. The talking got a little more aggressive with one another, kind of thing. But they managed to finally, you know, get them all out for 194, and then managed to get the score. But there are periods of times in games where the leaders have to take over. You know what I mean? To keep the team together, kind of thing. But they got away with it, and you know. But if Bailey's Bay were able to score some more runs, I think more pressure would have been put on St. David's.
Yeah, 196. And that game was played at Bay too, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like you said, on partnership, those, you know, break the momentum of the fielders, but you always got to stay in the game.
Right.
You know, like you said, it was 140 something for 8.
Yeah.
That's when you know, you probably have, I'm sure you got 1 or 2 good bowlers that you always have to bring on to try to come back, start building out everybody to come back to finish it off. But, you know, sometimes it's partnerships, and when your hair drops, it's even harder.
Yeah. It's almost like everything goes wrong for a period of time.
Yeah. But if you think about 196 on Bay, probably, maybe they would have given us off 220, 230. It might have been more interesting.
Right. Yeah, that's just the thing. You get across 200 at Bay, you get 220. You have a fighting chance.
You got something to build at.
Right. And of course, I mean, both teams have a lot of youngsters in them. I mean, they have senior players, but they have a lot of youngsters in them. So, you know, you got to give the opportunity to either battle build, you know, to you know, become of age. And I think, you know, sometimes it's gonna work, and sometimes it's not. It's just, I think for Bailey's Bay, having someone like Gus Logie in the camp can kind of rejuvenate that team and bring them back. And of course, Ricky Ricky Brinkman with St. David's, you know, if he talks to the youngsters, he can keep them on a straight and narrow, because winning can bring a different feeling, but if you're still young, you can't get too arrogant and over cocky, because there will come a time when a loss and you won't be able to handle it.
Yeah. And that's the thing with the youngsters coming in now. They have to enjoy it, because it's not all about winning. You know, it's about learning the game, you know, having respect for the senior players. And I'm glad the clubs have started playing a lot of younger players, because they need them, you know. The strength is a long season, and you're going to need some of those young players when your senior players get hurt or can't make it for, you know, obvious reasons. So you need those younger players. That's why I'm so surprised with Somerset's team, you know, where the young players are too up in Somerset. Like I said, I know there's quite a few that is overseas. But I'm sure it's got to be somebody there that, well, then again, they'll compete with Vellacotts too, innit? Vellacotts got some of the younger players too, but but like I said, we got to start getting the younger players involved with the game. You know, that's our problem. It's too many young players is just playing overseas.
Right, definitely. Well, I just got that scorecard, so it was a 58-run partnership. 56-run partnership between Kyle Hutzel and Jordan Burgess that took him from 130 for 8 to 186 for 9. To give them some of a fighting chance, with Jordan Burgess scoring 26 off of 22. He had 2 sixes. Kyle 29 off of 41, 3 fours and a 6. The top scorer for them was Stephen Otterbridge with 38 off of 41 with 6 fours. Derek Bergman was the top bowler, 10 overs, 1 maiden, 3 for 32. Justin Pitcher took 2 for 66. OJ Pitcher took 2 for 1. He bowled 1.2 overs, no maidens, 2 for 1. George O'Brien took 2 for 27. And then in reply, with St. David scoring 199 for 3. OJ Pitcher, not out, 84. Ricardo Brinkman, not out, 52. OJ off of 81 balls, 12 fours, 1 6. Ricardo, 52 off of 77 balls, 4 fours and 3 sixes. Ajon Lamb got him started. He scored 38 off of 49 balls. Dean Simons was out without scoring, and Aaron Painter went for 3. But OJ and Ricardo took him across the line. They shared took him from 64 for 3 to 199, so 135 run partnership there. So,
OJ is back. Yeah, good.
A brilliant catch as well. A brilliant catch.
It wouldn't take him long.
No.
He plays a lot of golf, Time.
Yeah. So
he's still OJ always had good timing.
Yes. Yeah.
And his timing was always good too. He's really good batsman. So it's nice to see him back out playing.
Yeah, definitely. He looked like he was having some fun today, although it's a little hotter. A round of golf for 2 hours, cricket's a lot longer. Especially if you field out and then when I'm that long.
Yeah.
Just to give an update, down at Lords in St. David's, it's a first division match. It's going to go down to the wire. Right now, it is Devonshire Recreation Club defending a score. Flats need 32 runs off of 31 balls, but they only have 1 wicket in hand. Devonshire Rec scored 285 all out. Right now, Flats are 254 for 9 after 44.5 overs. So it's all to play for down there. But then let's turn to that first division, the first division match yesterday at PHC. The under 19s were all out for 65, but then it was very interesting. Cleveland scored 66 for 6. They were in a lot of trouble at one point in time. Cleveland were 6 for 36, and then Mackay McGowan scored 30 off of 6 goals.
5 sixes.
5 sixes, yeah. 5 sixes. So bailed them out of trouble. But I must say the current team that is the under 19s would have the same problem that Somerset would be having right now, because a lot of the players in the under 19s are abroad, and a lot of guys are fighting for a spot in the team. But they're not quite ready for that challenge as of yet. But you keep giving them the opportunity to do so. It's going to come right at some point in time.
Of course, a lot of the players, under 19 players that are hurt, they can't play again the following year. But they got a lot of 15 to 16-year-olds playing now.
Right.
Of course, the bulk of the team, like you said, is in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
They got a few here, like Luke Fulton, and it's a few of them that play for the Good Work Academy. That play for the team, and it's a few more from I think it's Bay, and what's the other team? Well, it's quite a few from Warwick too. That are playing in the under 19 team, or various teams. So Davis too. So
Davis as well,
so that team is very, very young, it consists of 15 to 16-year-olds. So it's good. At least they get a chance to play.
Yeah.
As before, because before they was playing in the commercial league, and
Yes.
that wasn't good for them. That was like 16 over. A lot of them didn't bowl or bet. So now at least now a lot of them gets a chance to bet and bowl.
Yeah.
So which is good for them.
Again, I mean, we talked about it last week. It's having that opportunity to play and do the same thing in their club team the next day, because just bowling 10 overs, if they do bowl 10 overs a week, or just batting, whatever overs a week, that's really not good enough. We need to be playing more on a regular basis, and it's one of those things where they've got to be in their team. The club has got to help. If you have a player in a national squad setup, clearly that player should be one of those ones that should be turning in and out on a weekly basis with senior players to assist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's getting help on a Sunday that he not necessarily get that same help while he's in the field or at the wicket on a Saturday with his peers, kind of thing. But the following week you should see some improvement.
Yeah, and the good thing about them, they're playing Saturdays with the under 19s and then Sundays with the club. So
Right.
at least they're getting 2 games in a week.
Right.
And they're training. Because through the week, you think about training, betting in the nets is it's not like betting in the middle.
Right.
Because when you're in the nets, obviously you're going to try things, different shots. You're trying. And sometimes you might be saying, "Oh, that's a 4, this is that," but then when you get in a game, you see field is and see how big the field is. It's a lot
Right.
different. So it's always good to make your runs out in the middle. Some players don't like being in the nets.
Right.
In the nets you just go in there. When I was training the under 19s and stars, I used to give those guys a lot of throwdowns.
Mm.
That's very important. Even out here, these guys out here, they bet hour to 2 hours in the net and just throw downs.
Mm.
Seriously, you just got to train and just in the net throw downs. It comes
Right.
repetition. I got the helmet on, I got everything in, and I just throw downs. And
Mm.
then they might go in the nets with a bowler, 10, 15 minutes. But they already had 2 hours of throw downs. So
Right.
by the time the bowlers come, they're already warmed up.
Right.
Right. I remember
Yeah.
Trey got injured 2 years ago, and he was called in the national team. I think it was go to Kenya. I can't remember where it was, and he hadn't
Right.
played because he just came off his injury with his leg.
Mm.
So I said, Trey, you need to go on Barkley. You're going away with this team. I think it was football season. I said, you ain't had enough. I went up there and gave him throwdowns for about hour one day. Just basic stuff.
Mm.
And he hadn't held a bat in his hand for at least a year or 2.
Right. Right.
And then I just gave him throwdowns. I said, that's all you need. I said, you didn't need no ball. I ain't got nobody to bill you. I just gave him throwdowns. I had about 50 tennis balls and a couple other balls. And he went out there and he was the highest, he scored the highest score. I mean,
Right.
he scored the most runs.
Right.
So it just goes to show you, it's important to get those throwdowns too. Because you could work on specific things. Like I was throwing the ball like for on drives, off drives, off the back foot. It's just repetition. If you're a batsman, you could just say, "Look, this is what I want,"
Mm.
and it's up to the person that's doing the throwdowns to give them to them.
Right.
You feel yourself like, look, I'm struggling at this right now. I'm nicking the ball, driving or something. Throw about 50 balls outside there and make sure he's getting close and driving. So
Right.
it's pretty important. I tell you, another person does that. Tamika Wilson from St. George's. I think Mando used to do the same thing with him.
Right.
I look at Tamika now. I can guarantee you that's what he's been doing preseason. Look at him; he's scoring runs already. Tamika, when he was playing for Stars, I remember he used to. It's like he's betting the nets all day. He's had his hit. He wasn't go back in afterwards. Like sometimes I used to go in there and just give him a couple of throwdowns after he's already had a hit. But that's how he was just likes to bet. And there's a few more batsmen that out there that won't mind like the extra hitting any nets. It's vital.
Yeah. But we're going to take another commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more with this week's cricket. We'll be right back.
I'm also thankful and grateful because my greatest value of my life is my legacy.
But why I do it? I feel supposed to do it. I was put here to be here, to do what I'm doing right now. Once I see somebody moving, it's the greatest joy for me. There's a little person being born.
I am thankful that people have given me the trust, for me to empower them, from my players to my family to friends. And that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that people have allowed me and trusted me to be in their life.
Putting down the weapons.
You seeing this?
Back in 1995, a pair of entrepreneurs working in their garage with essential oils began to realize the potential of organically produced body care products. Now, in a 56,000 square foot facility, EO products are shipping to millions worldwide, an inspiration to aspiring family businesses to be sure. EO products were the first in their field to follow the quality and safety guidelines established for organic foods in their production of high-end organic body care products. This month we're featuring EO Lemon Coconut Lotion. Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
And welcome back, where we have an update from Lords and St. David's, where flats have been bowled out for 254, with Devonshire Recreation Club winning by 31 runs. For flats, you had Cofield Robinson score 85, Regino Smith scored 44. For Devonshire Rec, Rudall Pitcher scored 77 off of 38 balls, 5 fours, and 8 sixes. For Cofield, he faced 99 balls, 9 fours, 2 sixes. And for Regino, his 44 was 27 balls, 8 fours, and 1 6. In the bowling department, Regino's had 7 overs, 4 for 39. Dion Bowl for Devonshire Recreation Club bowled 9 overs, 1 maiden, 3 for 35. And Rudall Pitcher, 7.5 overs, 3 for 45. So Rudall led from Devonshire Recreation Club, scoring 77 and taking 3 for 45 at a place he would call home, Lords and St. David's.
Yeah, that's a good result for Devonshire Rec too. Because you think about the flats, beat Western Stars last week, and this week, see Devonshire Rec, they batted well. I also think the Bascom boy made some runs too. He made 40-something too for Devonshire Rec.
Yeah, Nelson.
No,
flats.
No, for Devonshire Rec.
Yeah,
made 40-something too.
From
So
32, 3 fours and 2 sixes.
Yeah, it's a few of them that chipped in. See, once you scored 270, 280. So no, how much runs did Devonshire Rec score?
285, but they had 45 extras.
Oh,
45 extras. They had
So
32 wides, 2 new balls, 4 buys, and 7 leg buys. 32 wide deliveries.
that's what Flatsboro. That's
Yeah,
what
that's what
Flatsboro.
Yeah.
That's what they lost the game.
40 without that 45, that extra 45.
Well, that's where they lost the game to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they lost it. what I say, I know it's still early season, but I don't want to repeat myself, but the extras count. If you're burling 30 something wide, you think about that, that's an extra 4 to 5 overs you're burling.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the runs that are scored off it, you know,
Both of
it's,
them, the extra ball.
that's, the Flat's going to have to definitely work on that.
If you look at it, Raccoon Bull, 20 extras, 16 wides.
Right. So that's, I mean, even that's bad. At least,
Right.
you know, they got away with it.
That's
But,
2 overs.
normally in a 50 over game, 20 wides is much, but 30 something wides, it's ridiculous. Normally in a 50 over game, you're allowed, I would say, like maybe 5 to 6. Anything under 10 and 50 overs, you know, for I say Premier and Champions, you know, SAC division, no more than 10 wides. I mean, you know, it's that.
Paul Carr broke 10 wides.
See,
Or gave up 10 runs on wides, but he bowled 10.
you have to, you have to, you know, teams need to work on that. Like I say, I started playing Berlin 50, it was the Berlin 56, 57, sometimes close to 60 something overs the Berlin. You know, that's, you know, they need to work on that. Especially looking for promotion. I think a lot of the teams, it'd be interesting in seeing what some of the Premier divisions stats are on that, because I'm looking at the first division stats are ridiculous. And
Well, let's put it like this: David's inning, I mean, in Bayless Bay's inning, St. David's bowled 24 wides. They give up 34 extras. 4 wides, 1 no ball, 9 leg buys, and in the St. David's inning, it was 22 extras, 18 wides, 1 bye, and 3 leg buys.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to get wides. You know, you know that. But you can't have every bowler wides. Or if you've got 5 to 6 bowlers, you can't have 6 bowlers bowling 3, 4 wides. That's where it's coming from.
Yeah.
You know, somebody has to say, look, I got to continue. You know, it's even in the Premier Division, 20 something wides is a lot.
There's a lot.
But like I said, it's still early in the season. I know a lot of the guys still, you know, getting adjusted to bowling again and trying to pick up their lengths. But like I said, you don't really need speed early in the season. It's just line and length. Speed will come off it. So I don't know if they're trying to bowl too fast, right? Or they're trying. Maybe it could be Earl too. They're trying some different variations now.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind that, you know, because at least they're trying it. But if you continue on doing it and it still goes for wide, you have to stop. You know?
I watched the Billy Bayless Bay inning, and I was watching George O'Brien likes to cut the ball back across a right-hander. So a lot of times he drifts the ball down the leg side to beat them around their legs. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. It's just he tried something different. You know, 2 of his balls went wide on that occasion, but 1 just missed the leg stump where the batsman didn't even offer a stroke.
Yeah, but George is not a bowler that does a lot of variations. So he's going to get the wider too. But if you look at George stats, George is not bowling 10, 15 wides in his, you know, in his 10 over spell. If it is, he's got 3 or 4, and that's probably because he's trying the in swinger and going down there. So that's something you can't control. But what I'm talking about the wides, it's when you're too wide. You know what I mean? Like you're way down the leg or you're way outside the off stump. You know, that's what you need. That's what the guys need to work on. Sometimes if you're trying to build a Yorker down center leg and you miss it, it goes down. It's you know, that's something you can't help. But it's the other wides where you're building and you know you're wide or stump because you're probably wide trying to run from the batsman. It's probably, sometimes a lot of the wides coming late in the innings, the bowlers are trying to run, trying to bowl wide.
You don't want to
So
get
the
hit.
batsman, right.
Yeah.
So that's understandable that you can get called for wide for that. But like I said, sometimes you got to use different. Like, what's wrong with a Yorker?
But you mentioned something earlier about these guys watching IPL. The one thing that they don't watch is the amount of time those guys put in training to do those shots, and then the bowlers to perform. And I think that's the part that's missing. These guys are not emulating the work put in to get the results that okay, so those guys are professionals, but in order to hone in on your craft, you've got to put some work in on the training pitch in order for it to work on the pitch.
Earl, if I was a bowler, even was a medium to fast or fast, if I'm bowling the nets, I'm setting up a curve. I'm looking at the area where I'm bowling at least 2 Yorkers in my 6 overs. Or if I'm bowling to a particular batsman, if you see his weak somewhere, I'm bowling the ball there.
Right.
You got to look at the batsman where they're scoring to, and then you got to build to his weak spots. Everybody's got a weak spot where they can't score, especially in Bermuda.
Yes.
If you're playing international now, it's different. In Bermuda, but even still, the better batsmen, if you build a Yorker, it's nothing they could do. If they do a ram shot, and they do, hey, that's a good shot.
Right,
Because sometimes they get deep in the crease, and that Yorker ball becomes it's not a Yorker no more. But that's nothing. At least you're trying it. But on her, you got to top of our stump. Try to bowl it, right? Because you're not giving too much room to cut. Top of our stump and the Yorkers.
Yes.
I mean, if you bowl 2 or 3 days over, even late in the innings, it's very hard to score. You probably could get wickets, or you can keep your runs down.
Yeah.
So I think what for us, a lot of the coaches should do now. Look. If these guys are bowling in net, what I'm worrying about is just bowling with no method. Hey, look, come out the net, go on this side. I want you to do some target bowling.
Yes. Yeah.
Set up a cone, just somewhere on the wicket, top of our stump, bowl to there, or you set up a cone where Yorkers. It doesn't even have to be a batsman there.
Right. They just need to target.
Just the target. The target bowling. That's all you need. Because it's
like a batsman. A batsman likes to feel the flow of the ball coming off the bat. So the throwdowns are one thing, but a bowler has to have a rhythm. So you have to be all the time bowling at a mark that you feel, okay, I can get it off of this length. I can get it off of this length. But if you only do it for 1 over in training, instead of doing it for an hour in training, because just like the batsman needs an hour, the bowler needs an hour. And you need to put that effort in.
You need to. You got to remember, it's 6 balls. You could bowl 5 good balls.
Yeah.
And then the last ball is a bare ball. They put you away for 4 or 6. That's 6 runs and over. And then just think, even though you bowled 5 probably good balls, right? I'm just saying it's probably good balls to you. And they're still scoring off it. And then you build a bad one, it's still 8 to 10 runs and over.
Yeah.
So even the good balls can get players out. You might get an edge. Oh, that's a good ball. Good starter for a single or 2. Still 2 runs. But what happens when you build your bad ball? 4 or 6. So it's still 8 to 10 runs and over.
Yeah, because it adds up.
So
as long as they keep rotating strike, when that bad ball does come and they put it away, they already got runs on the board.
Exactly. They already got runs on the board. Because if they're hitting them, and they're just thinking, if they're hitting the good ball, where you're going to do. So that's what I'm saying. You have to have that Yorker.
Right.
You got to have the slow bunter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you build 5, like I said, if you build 4 or 5 good balls and over, and then you're coming up for a York or a slow ball, you're out of that over for 1 run scored or no run scored.
Yeah.
So it's immediately putting pressure on the batsman.
Right. I'm just going to quickly go back at the scorecard for for St. David's and Bay. So George had a maiden, CJ had a maiden, Eric Bringman had a maiden. In the St. David's inning, just one maiden, Coolidge Durham. So, you got to try and keep those runs down. I mean, gave up 26 runs in the 5 overs he built, 5.2 overs, 5.2 runs are over. Expensive for Mikael Walker, 6. Chris Jackman, 6. Jordan Burgess, who took 4 wickets last week, he gave up 5.5 runs and over.
Did he get any wickets this? Did he get any wickets this week, Jordan?
One for 44. Kyle Hutzel got 1 for 26. Walker got 1 for 37.
See, Carl's very economical because he's got that good away. Carl Boyle's tougher for himself. And he gets the ball to go away from the right-hander. Right. So Carl could give you 8-10 overs and give up 30, maybe 30 to 40 runs and get you wickets.
Yeah, but he built 6 for 26.
So that's nothing usual with Carl, but like I said, you got to build in pairs. If you can have one bowler build and good, then the next one build and bad, defeat the purpose.
Yeah. Let's take another commercial break, and when we come back, we'll finish off with this week's Player of the Week. We'll be right back.
Every month is snack month for us, it would seem, as long as they're the healthful, guilt-free, delectable snacks we crave. Enter the Daily Crave, a company whose first product was churros, the well-loved Spanish treat, followed by diversification in the form of classic puff snacks and chips. They ventured beyond the traditional list of ingredients. The grains are gone, replaced by lentils, pulses, and cassava, slaking our craving with a vegan-friendly, gluten-free snack that satisfies. This month, we're featuring the Daily Crave Quinoa Bourbon Barbecue Chips. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
I'm also thankful and grateful because my greatest value of my life is my legacy.
But why I do it? I feel supposed to do it. I was put here to be here, to do what I'm doing right now. Once I see somebody moving, it's the greatest joy for me. There's a little person being born.
I am thankful that people have given me the trust, for me to empower them, from my players to my family to friends, and that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that people have allowed me and trusted me to be in their life.
Putting down the weapons.
You seen this?
And welcome back. We have another score. Doc. Somerset Bridge defeated PHC by 4 wickets. Somerset Bridge won the toss, sent PHC to bat. PHC were bowled out for 133. Dante Hayward and Jaden Simons both scored 20. Sean Riley took 4 for 24 off of 7, which included a maiden. Donnie Charles took 3 for 15 off of 6 with 2 maidens. Somerset Bridge scored 136 for 6 with Adrian Burrows. 53 not out. Hayward led the PHC attack, taking 2 for 28 from 3 overs. So Somerset Bridge 2 wins in a row at the start of the season in the first division. So, they're off to a good start.
Yeah, still a long season. They played the youth team and now PHC. I was going to ask you about PHC too. I didn't know that they had a team this year. I didn't hear anything about them. But you know, they got quite a few youngsters down there playing for them too.
Right,
I
right.
think a couple of that players is in the national under 19s too, so it'll be interesting to see. That's our first game too, so
Yeah.
they will probably be getting stronger too. That have few players that's overseas too.
Right.
But some
But
players, like you said, they're on a roll so far. And Riley's been building pretty good
yeah.
for the season. You know, he's a wily player. I think I don't know if it's the captain, but you know, Sean just built stump to stump. So
Yeah.
you know, it's a it's a feisty little bird. He just continue to keep burning. You know, I saw him playing in the commercial league a couple of weeks ago. You know, he was getting his preseason warm up games, and he was barely good then. So I'm not surprised he's getting wickets. I've been watching Bill. He builds wicket to wicket. So he'll probably end up getting a lot of wickets this year. And, so you know, it'll be interesting to see how Somerset Bridge finish the season.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, if you look at it, Somerset Bridge have 3 bowlers that they kind of go to in Donnie Charles, Sean, and Noel Woods. Those guys, when they're bowling together, they bowl in tandem. They kind of, if they're not getting wickets, they're not giving up much runs.
What about Joshua Gilbert's not playing this year, is he? I heard.
I haven't seen him as of yet.
Okay, because I know that, you know, he went for Somerset Bridge last year to help out. You know, he was helping out with him last year.
Right.
So I don't know if it's playing. Even if Joshua came back to play with him, that would be even better for Somerset Bridge with the experience he's got.
Right,
but,
definitely.
So I'm not too sure what he's doing this season. I think someone told me that he might be getting married. I don't know how true that is, but
I think he just recently got married.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that could be it right there.
Yeah.
Maybe. So. Well, Doc, we've come to the portion where we want to pick the player of the week. But last week we picked Ajon Lamb, and this was the presentation for the sponsors for the player of the week in Goslings.
Today, Goslings wants to congratulate the player of the week for the first weekend of the season. We're really excited for a great season. Ajon Lamb, congratulations. Yes, sir. Scored 126 runs. You guys won 311, 7 outs. Congratulations. We got a bottle of Flora Gold from one champion to another.
Perfect.
Enjoy.
Thanks. Appreciate it, man.
You're welcome.
There you have it, Ajon Lamb, the player of the week. Well, of course, we'll start from the west and work our way east for the player of the week. Of course, in the runnings will be Tamika Wilson with 133. Onias Bascom with his knock of 40 odd and 5 wickets. We have, of course, Brian Hole scoring 116 for Western Stars. We had OJ Pitcher for his 84 not out. Ricardo 52 not out. Also going down the line, we had Stephen Dill scoring 95 and then claiming 2 wickets for his team, the Nervian. We had at Devonshire Recreation Club, we had Riddell Pitcher scoring 77 and then claiming 2 wickets. Regino Smith taking 4 for 50 for flats and then scoring some runs for flats as well. He scored 44. Cofield Robinson scored 85. And then we have as well, you'd already talked about in the Devonshire Recreation team, you talked about Karonde Bascom also scoring 41 for Devonshire Recreation Club as well. So which way would you lean for Player of the Week?
I would go with either Tamiko Wilson or Rondé Bass. I mean, Onias Bass can be one of those two. Or OJ Pitcher too. 80-something not out. And did he also take 2 wickets too? You said 2 for 1.
Yeah.
I forgot that's good stats, you know.
2 for 1.
2 for 1 and 80-something not out.
84 not out.
No, that's you can't overlook that.
Not at all. Not at all.
So, like it's a toss-up out of those 3.
Right. Well, I kind of lean towards that the 2 for 1 and the 84 not out. Although you were right, it's a close one with Onias. Of course, you know, a lot of people look at somebody that scores the most runs and that's the most valuable player, but not necessarily. We have guys that are got and bowl. Of course, well, Tamiko is a wicket keeper as well, but you know, the guys that do bowl run. So I would lean towards OJ Pitcher being named the Player of the Week. What do you say?
Yeah, I agree. I think you mentioned that he got a good catch too, right?
Good catch. Yeah.
So you can't beat that.
No.
I feel sorry for Onias. Onias had a good 5 wickets. You got to remember that's
Right.
I mean, good Burl and 40. And you can't knock Tamiko century.
Yes.
And Brian Hall century, but Brian Hall was different because it was a losing course. So yeah, I think OJ deserves it this week.
Sure. Well, I want to thank you very much for your time again. I know it's late. For anyone who knows, Doc is in the UK. He gives back his time. Lead up to midnight.
Yeah.
But yeah, Doc, thank you very much. We'll be back next week with another edition of the Island Stats Cricket Show. Enjoy your night.
Cheers, Al.
Okay, mate.